Dear viewers, let me take this opportunity to welcome you again in this lovely program. This is IQ Inter-School Challenge on Air, which is being brought to you through your beloved television, Star Television. I'm your presenter, Davidson George. Today, I'm having my two good schools. I'm having MUHANDU from Mwanza. I'm also having MAHINA Secondary School from Mwanza as well. I'm kindly asking you just to stay with me from the beginning to the end so that you can enjoy. IQ Inter-School Challenge is a program that really educates, reminds, and also give us different issues over the cross-cutting issues in our communities and other things, but in one way or the other, we were unaware of. I'm kindly asking you, please, you can also participate in this program by telling us your request to participation through the numbers you are displayed on your screen. You can follow this program on your YouTube channel by writing #IQStarTV. You can also follow us through Facebook by writing @BariStarTV and you get this program. IQ Inter-School Challenge is being presented always on air on Thursdays at 4 o'clock and repetition on Saturday at 10 o'clock. Dear viewer, let me welcome you for this program. I'm having my three segments. I'm having the talent segment, the Q&A segment, and also the presentation segment. Let me start by welcoming my participants on the talent segment. And here I'm welcoming a school known as MUHANDU Secondary School from Mwanza. Please, can you welcome MUHANDU? Clap for MUHANDU. Let us see the talent from MUHANDU.
Nietzsche Brax 26 Prince Toes Baker T08 _ Mnyama. Oh yeah yeah. Maisha harakati, mziki fitness na imba mistari save somi magazeti na upenda muziki tu so kufanya uhuni, sauti ndo ujuzi na kupangilia tenzi na nena tenzi dume kwa toni ya ajabu, kweli duniani pu maisha matamu, siri na imani ndo vimefanya nijue na ugali na dagaa ndo vimefanya nikue. Hakika hekima heshima na upendo vinaweza kukujenga ukajenga hata jengo, wengi wamepoteza kwa kukosa maarifa, masnicho takuteka pale we unapolia. Ukimwaga mchele jandai kokota punje, sugu ficha uchi mjazaa lazima uzae, misha ota sugu jonundu lazima ukae, ukichakata futa pesa mjini ili ungae. Bila pesa town mademo wapatikani, na bila kingamuzi channel hazijulikani, bila hasi na chanya cheche hazipatikani, yani bila baba na mama toto patikani. Kila chocho nayo picha na acho kisema, sio kwa ubaya ila kwa wema notenda. Mola ni bless niweze kufika mbele, achana na wanafiki wanaonionea gere. Samaki mkunje bado mbicha kifata kusumbua, wananyemelea vifaru wabiso so vijua. Najituma kwa moyo moja nasonga mbele, kitamni na kionja kinara bisi na gere. Umpai story wa kwanza kukusaliti na wakwepa matapeli, najua nitakula shoti. Nafanya vizuri mashabiki wanikubali, wananisabia magoli mangapi niweke noti. Kikipita kizuri siachi kukifukuza, na kaza kiukweli nihakikishe ninauza. Ziki umeniajiri be future hatari kweli, na hizo so za ajabu magazeti watachana. Bado nangangana kama kupe kwenye ngombe, palipo na wengi ndo hapo najichanganya. Sifosi mapenzi mademo na nikubali, hata bila pene mina vimba na bisikali. Locha wakangia ndani ya sikio la tembo, kelele za samaki barini furaha ya vengo. Watoto wa Mombasa bwana waliwa kisambu, bila taratibu nyuma watiwa ajabu adabu. Mfukoni sina pesa na watesa kila rika, naishi bi maisha yangu yasotambulika. Tajiri wa misemo sarufi ya Kiswahili hapa nabadilisha po kwenda kwake kwisha. Ni uchapa Kines Village na wakilisha na wako wamenwa lafu notesha mitingo single boy. Hawatoboi wako hoi.
Yeah, natungo chako ni mashala na chukia, JD na cheza lafu, MC wanakimbia bamba na wavuta mafaso napata Mabunga na wanyuka na wafundisha nidhamu, na speak nafanya yangu, wanapiga kelele na koma na panchi zangu na kaza nifike mbele. DJ chola ngombe liliojaa majonzi tele, liliozoea bakola kuchapwa lisonge
Jia niko shega super kineka nguvu ya greda, sawa ainaga ushemeji sio kwa mke wa mjeda. Fanya kazi ngumu paka bongo julikani, mziki una kidoti na gawa kama joketi, mfupi kama poti na kulenga na manati. Nabeba na bebeka unazani lini nitachujwa, nyinyi watanganyika wakuja na kujikuta. Unataka kwenda sauti mwanafunzi umpe mimba, kipande cha sabuni ndiyo pesa ya butimba. Ngoma zao mbovu ndo maana zinashiriki, kati yangu mina medi nane netafuta kiki. Pisani fulani kazi zao ni majungu, kingoja kuleti ukichewa Mungu atafunga fungu. Mapenzi ya Facebook wachache wanafunga pingu. Natokea California, kilimo kwa wazungu, bado nasaka pesa wala sio meneja. Kunibebesha dawa za kuongeza mateja. Ukijenga majungu mimi najenga paka bati. Muulize mwimba kizungu bona aimbi sabati. Medi matunzo zilo mwaje hapa ukesula. So kila biti ya lap itafanyika kwa duki. Nikwambie kwa mdundo bona unapigwa tafu. Wambie watu wazima iri ni jeshi la watu. Sasa na posti tungo bila cover photo. Ukitaja chama cha lab katibu ni King Booza.
Yeah, sela piga simu sasa kupokea. Si unajua tena mini I don't care. Nilivo ona choki sikio nikamtegea. Mala tuone na vitu vya kuongea. Nikamjibu poa au bide. Usile sana mde we short and clear. Mwanzo sitasahau pigo lizo niletea. Nikifika ni mikazo tu. Naenda kumuoshea. Yeah, naenda kumuoshea. Na sitoenda mtupu. Nitaenda nusu nusu. Watakula makuku ila sitoi mabusu. Na kama yupo live apige tupuchu. Na asau kusu lomans hata kiduchu.
Unywi maji yakapita, minkiguna ushafika. Jina gani ujanita baby? Shauri utaki kabisa, eti uniache na visa ya Firauni na Musa vingi. Nikilala naota kama unaniita. Nafumba macho navuta shuka, naona napumzika. Unishikapo nipo hapo nafarijika. Mama yangu mahaba yako, ndo maana nasononeka we. Wana pale tulipokutana, mikono tukapeana, macho yakatizamana. Wana pale tulipokutana, naomba kubadilishana, nafsi kukubaliana. Penzi kidonani ubio, wahenga walisema maradhi yaweza siwe na dawa, kwa penzi yakapona. Rabbi amenipa nusura, jeuri sina tena we mganzi. Menimaliza hasira sinuni wakisema.
Msimamizi wa mipaka ya bahari, utunza yegala ya mvua, waamua vita ya jua na mwezi, upepo na mawimbi vya kujua, wautangaza mwisho mwanzoni, hakuna usilolijua. Uketie mahali pasili, patakatifu palipoinuka. Nani wakulinganishwa nawe, Jehova mwenye nguvu? Ufalme wako ni wa zamani zote, vizazi vyote. Miaka kwako siyo umri, miaka kwako siyo uzazi, kwako si ukomo.
Lord, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, God. Lord, I don't wanna lose you in my life. Lord, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, God. Lord, I don't wanna lose you in my life. Lord, I'm ready to give up your name. I don't care all I see, all I touch, 'cause you're more special in my life. First of all, you're the one I desire. Lord, I'm ready to give up, but I don't care all I see, all I touch, 'cause you're more special in my life. First of all, you're the one I desire. Lord, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, God. Lord, I don't wanna lose you in my life. Lord, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, God. Lord, I don't wanna lose you in my life. Lord, I'm ready to give up your name. I don't care all I see, all I touch, 'cause you're more special in my life. First of all, you're the one I desire. Lord, I'm ready to give up, but I don't care all I see, all I touch, 'cause you're more special in my life. First of all, you're the one I desire. Lord, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you, God. Lord, I don't wanna lose you in my life. Uninyunyizie wakati wa ukame, uachi ninyauke, na kupenda, uninyunyizia maji wakati wa ukame, uachi ninyauke, na kupenda, na kupenda, na kupenda, mnyunyizi wangu, na kupenda, kama mti kando ya mto, hivyo ndivyo nilivyo, mnyunyizi wangu, na kupenda. Me and you got a history. When I'm go, you go miss me. I've been down for a long, long time. Can't take it more time. All talk about victory. Can't fuck with anything that contradict it. Boy check never satisfy.
Kikudekeza kama mtoto, furana furagia, ghafla geuka moto, machozi unalia, mwembamba mnene, wena pesa kama Dangote. Mimi sijali sisiki, naweza penda mtu yoyote. Penzi sio sumu, kasome kwa kitabu. Penzi limfanya Harmonize mfukuzishe Mwarabu. Penzi huyo limeleta kwa wanangu vita, squeeze siwaoni. Nasha kwa like Insta, hivyo asokupenda achana naye.
Kuna wakati wa giza, mbele soni najiuliza, mbona kama hizi shida zimekawia kuisha. Katikati ya maswali nasikia sauti ndani, imebeba ujasiri, ikinitaka nikili, nikisema mimi ni waju, mimi ni waju. Haijalishi ni giza, yeye ni nuru yangu. Nitashinda hii vita, na yote yatakwisha. Nitasimama tena, nitainuka tena. Mimi ni waju tu, mimi ni waju tu. Nitasimama tena, nitainuka tena. Mimi ni waju tu, mimi ni waju tu.
Thank you very much. Can you clap for them? Fantastic. Fantastic. Yes. Now we are going to see another talent work from MUHANDU Secondary School, whereby we are going to see a student who is able to make his own excavator. We are going to see how the material used to make the excavator and how that excavator operates. Welcome, my beloved presenter.
Asante. Kwa majina naitwa Justini Nyanda kutoka katika shule ya sekondari MUHANDU. Mimi nimeweza kutengeneza hii excavator au grader. Na hii excavator au grader, vitu ambavyo nimeweza kutumia kutengeneza ni bomba za sindano, milija mitatu, maboksi pamoja na rangi. Hii excavator inaweza kutumika katika matumizi mbalimbali kama vile kutengenezea, inatumika katika ujenzi wa mabarabara, kuchimba mitaro, inatumika katika migodi, kuchimba. Hasa kazi ya hii ni kuchimba, kusawazisha sehemu fulani ya ardhi. Sasa hii excavator jinsi inavyoweza kufanya kazi, nafanya kazi chini ya kanuni moja ya mwanasayansi inaitwa Pascal, ambapo inasema kwamba katika mfumo ambao kimiminika kinakuwa kimefungiwa, pressure inayosambaa katika ule mfumo unakuwa ni sawa sehemu yote. Hapa hivi nitaenda kuonyesha jinsi inavyofanya kazi. Hii excavator tunavyoona hapa hivi, kuna hizi hapa hivi bomba 3 hapa hivi nje. Ila kwa ndani tena kuna bomba nyingine zimo 3. Ambazo ndani ya hizi bomba kuna maji. Maji yale yamepita kwenye hizi bomba yakaenda hadi kwenye bomba zingine zilizomo hivi ndani. Yamesafirishwa maji kwa kutumia hii mirija 3 ambayo inaonekana hapa hivi. Na hapa hivi tutaenda tukoone jinsi inavyoweza kufanya kazi. Hii excavator inaweza kufanya kazi kama ifuatavyo. Kama hii hapa, hii bomba la kwanza hili linafanya kazi ya kuinua au inafanya kazi ya kunandi huu mkono mzima. Ni kama hivi. Tunavyoona hapa hivi imeweza kuinua, ni hii hapa moja. Na hii nyingine inafanya kazi hapa katikati kukunja na kunyosha huu hapa hivi mkono kama hapa hivi tunavyoona. Pia hii hapa, hii bomba ya mwisho ya 3 ni bomba ambayo inafanya kazi ya kukunja kijiko na kukinyosha kama hapa hivi tunavyoona. Kwa hiyo inafanya kazi, inashuka. Ikishashuka hii hapa hivi inakunja. Hii hapa hivi nayo inamalizia na inachota. Asante. Pia hii excavator inaweza kuzunguka pande zote. Pande ambazo sehemu ambayo inahitaji, kama inaenda kuchota sehemu fulani, inaenda kuweka sehemu husika. Kama hapa, ngoja niinue ili tuweze kuiona jinsi inavyokuwa inafanya kazi. Kama kwa mfano hapa hivi sasa umeshachota kitu ambacho kinahitajika, sasa ndo unazungusha sasa hapa hivi excavator yenyewe ina rotate, inapeleka sehemu husika pia na huku.
Thank you. Can you clap for him? That is a wonderful talent. Kwa kweli huo ni ubunifu wa hali ya juu sana ambao kwa kweli unahitaji uendelezwe. Watoto wanaweza kubuni vitu tofauti tofauti na kutengeneza vitu ambavyo vinaweza kutusaidia kwenye jamii. Ni jambo nzuri. Hebu mpigieni makofi ya kilo kabisa. For that wonderful presentation or talent work that we have seen from MUHANDU. And now we are moving to this beloved and lovely segment. This is Q&A, question and answers. Here we are going to test the ability, courage on answering questions. And let me introduce my participant for today's challenge. I've said before that I'm having 2 secondary schools. I'm having MUHANDU Secondary School from Mwanza and also having MAHINA Secondary School from Mwanza as well. These 2 secondary schools are going to participate or compete in answering some number of questions in this challenge. And let me now introduce my participant from MUHANDU Secondary School. Can you introduce yourself to the audience?
My name is Ashraf Dubai from MUHANDU Secondary School.
My name is Amina Faida from MUHANDU Secondary School.
My name is Simon Andrew from MUHANDU Secondary School.
My name is Regina Mashaka from MUHANDU Secondary School.
Let me also introduce my participant from MAHINA Secondary School. Can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
My name is Shule Vasco from MAHINA Secondary School.
My name is Joshua Meshak from MAHINA Secondary School.
My name is Masa Pasco from MAHINA Secondary School.
My name is Eric Mashauli from MAHINA Secondary School.
Thank you very much. Dear viewers, we are going to start our challenge. And my first question on a subject called chemistry. My first chemistry question goes to Muhandu Secondary School. Dash is a row in the periodic table. A row in the periodic table.
Period.
Good. Question 2. Mahina Secondary School. A type of bonding that is formed between two atoms which have shared their electrons. A type of bonding that is formed between two atoms which have shared their electrons.
Covalent compound.
What? Repeat.
Covalent bond.
Good. Question 2, Muhandu. A reaction whereby two or more substances combine to form a single substance. A reaction whereby two or more substances combine to form a single substance.
Combination reaction.
Good. Question 2, Mahina. Water that forms leather easily with soap. Water that forms leather easily with soap. The right answer is soft water. Question 2, Muhandu Secondary School. A scale which gives us a numerical value to degree of acidity or alkanicity of a solution. A scale which gives us a numerical value to degree of acidity or alkanicity of a solution.
pH scale.
Good. Question 2, Mahina. An element which is extracted by electrolysis in Down's electronic cell. An element which is extracted by electrolysis in Down's electrolytic cell.
Sodium.
Good. Question 2, Muhandu. Salts delivered from nitric acid. Salts delivered from nitric acid. The right answer is nitrates. Question 2, Mahina Secondary School. The strongest oxidizing agent among halogens. The strongest oxidizing agent among halogens.
Fluorine.
Good. Question 2, Muhandu. A process of changing matter from solid to liquid. A process of changing matter from solid to liquid.
Melting.
Good. Question 2, Mahina Secondary School. The substance that catches fire easily. The substance that catches fire easily.
Flammable.
Good. Question 2, Muhandu. An intelligent gaze that is given as an explanation from an observation.
Hypothesis.
Good. From there, I'm moving to biology subjects. Biology subject. My first biology question goes to Mahina Secondary School. The bird have wings which help them to fly or to move more upward. Name of the structure which hold their wings. The bird have wings which help them to fly or to move upward. Name the structure which holds their wings. The right answer is kill. Question 2. Muhandu Secondary School. The cross between pole lines. The cross between pole line. The right answer is monohybrid inheritance. Question 2. Mahina Secondary School. The characteristics of diploid organisms are controlled by several factors that occurs in pairs. Only one of the pair can be present in a gamete. The characteristics of diploid organisms are controlled by several factors that occurs in pairs. Only one of the pair can be present in gametes.
Manifest law of inheritance.
Good. Question 2, Muhandu Secondary School. Sudden and unpredictable change in structure of a gene X, MOS, or even change in the known of X, more. Sudden and unpredicted change in structure of a gene X, MOS, or even change in the known of X, more. The right answer is mutation. Mutation. Question 2, Mahina Secondary School. A person who is heterogeneous always or most, he has selected advantage in areas where there is malaria. The person is said to be suffering from what land of disease? A person who is heterogeneous always or mostly, he has selected advantage in areas where there is malaria. The person is said to be suffering from what land disease? The right answer is sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia. Question to Muhandu. The manipulation of DNA of organism and the induced into a genome of another organism, yani oriented, with the given or produces new variation of organism. The manipulation of DNA of organism and then induced into a genome of another organism or oriented, which the given of produces a new variation of organism.
Vaccination.
No. The right answer is genetic engineering. Genetic engineering. Question 2, Mahina. The theory of origin of life that is not subjected to experimental proof, that paired for new way of thinking of the theory of origin of life that is not subjected to the experimental proof, but paired for new way of thinking.
Creation theory.
What?
Creation theory.
No.
Theory of speciation.
Can you repeat your answer?
Theory of speciation.
The right answer is special creation theory. Special creation theory. Question to Muhandu. Theory of organic evaluation that the environment created or creates the need which encourage the use of dose of the given body part. The theory of organic evaluation that the environment creates the need which encourage the use of dose or dose of a given body part. The right answer is Lamech theory. Lamech theory. Question 2, Mahina. Organisms that can act as both zoological and botanical. Organisms that can act as both zoological and botanical.
Fungus.
No? The right answer is Euanglena. Euanglena. From there, let me move to history questions. History questions. Question to Muhandu. There are places where remains of past human activities and cultural are found. Is called places where remains of past human activities and cultural are found is called?
Historical site.
Good. Question to Muhandu. The long term of the word IBEACO. The long term of the word IBEACO.
Imperial British South African Company.
No.
Imperial British East African Company.
Good. Question 2, Muhandu. The Empire of Ghana was located in the southern border of the modern day Mauritania and Mali. The first leader of Ghana Empire was known as? The Empire of Ghana was located in the southern border of one modern day known as Mauritania and Mali. The leader of Ghana Empire was known as?
Tunka Manin.
Good. Question 2, Mahina. In the Buganda kingdom, the leader or king is known as Kabaka. The council was made up of the prime minister called? In the Buganda kingdom, the leader or king is known as Kabaka. The council was made up of the prime minister called? No. The right answer is Katikiro. Katikiro. Question 2, Muhandu, secondary school. The process of traveling by boat or ship from place to place is called? The process of traveling by boat or ship from place to place is called?
Navigation.
Good. Question 2, Mahina. A white South African people whose family is related to the Dutch people who settled in South Africa in 1650s was called? A white South African people whose family is related to the Dutch people who settled in South Africa in 1650s was called?
Boaz.
Good. Question 2, Muhandu Secondary School. The system used in Kenya to introduce in 1921 to force Africans to work for settler plantation is known as? The system used in Kenya to introduce in 1921 to force Africans to work for settlers plantation was known as?
Kipande system.
What?
Kipande system.
Good. Kipande system. Question 2, Mahina Secondary School. The tree that used by the German to hang the people who disobeyed their rule was called? The trees that were used by German people to hang the people who disobeyed their rule was called?
Mwembe kunyonga.
Mwembe kunyonga. Good. Question 2, Muhandu. The first person to discover the America in 1492 is called? The first person to discover the America in 1492 was called?
Christopher Columbus.
Good. Question 2, Mahina. A building in which objects of artist, cultural, historical, or scientist interest are kept and showed to the public is known as? A building in which objects of artists, cultural, historical, or scientist interest are kept and showed to the public is known as?
Museums.
Good. From there, let me move to civics subjects. First civic question goes to Muhandu Secondary School. A lawful activity done by a person in order to earn living. A lawful activity done by a person in order to earn living.
Work.
Good. Question 2, Mahina Secondary School. The place where votes are counted. The place where votes are counted is known as?
Polling station.
Good. Question to Muhandu. The situation whereby people have rights to choose their own leader. The situation where people have right to choose their own leader.
Democracy.
Good. Question to Mahina. A legal right of a person to belong in a certain country is a legal right of a person to belong in a certain country is
Citizenship.
good. Question 2, Muhandu. The gradual change from lower stage to high stage of standard. The gradual change from lower stage to high stage of living standard.
Development.
Good. Question to Mahina. The biological difference between male and female. The biological difference between male and female.
Sex.
Good. Question 2. Muhandu Secondary School. The first person to design the national flag of Tanzania was? The first person to design the flag of Tanzania was? National flag.
Enoch Santoga.
Good. Question 2. Mahina. The act or process of a person to be humble and trustful in the society is? The act of a process. The act or process of a person to be humble and trustful in the society is?
Proper behavior.
No. The right answer is honest. Honest. Question 2. Muhandu Secondary School. The group of people who relates to each other by blood, marriage, or adaptation is? The group of people who relates to each other by blood, marriage, and adaptation is?
Family.
Good. Question 2. Mahina Secondary School. The bad occasions caused by road users while using the road, which may cause death or injury. The bad occasions caused by road users while using the road, which may cause death or injury.
Road accident.
Good. Dear viewers, this is IQ Inter-School Challenge on air. And on my today's challenge, I'm having 2 secondary schools from Mwanza. I'm having Muhandu Secondary School from Nyamagana District, Mwanza Province. And I'm also having Mahina Secondary School from Nyamagana District, Mwanza Province. These 2 schools are participating in this challenge. And you are also allowed to participate through your comments, which of course you can send through the numbers which are there displayed on the screen. But you can also participate in this program by sending us your request of participation. And I'm very sure you will share with you the interest of this program. Now, let me move to another subject. And here I'm moving to geography. My first geography question goes to Muhandu Secondary School. The type of geography which deals with formation of landform. The type of geography which deals with formation of landform.
Physical geography.
Good. Question 2. Mahina. The second largest continent in size is? The second largest continent in size is?
Africa.
Good. Question 2. Muhandu. A layer separated the mantle from the crust is called? A layer that separates the mantle from the crust is called?
Mohonovic discontinuity.
Good. Question 2, Mahina. A process of washing downwards soil nutrients from the top soil longer to lower layer is known as? A process of washing downward soil nutrients from the top soil longer layer to lower layer is known as?
Bleaching.
No?
Land reclamation.
No? The right answer is alluviation. Alluviations. Question 2. Muhandu Secondary School. It is used to stabilize right angles on the ground perpendicular to the survey line. It is used to establish right angles on the ground perpendicular to the surveyed line. The right answer is a cross staff. A cross staff. Question 2, Mahina. A statistical bar graph which shows how data diverges from the mean. A statistical bar graph which shows how data diverges from the mean.
Divergence bar graph.
What?
Divergence bar graph.
Good. A line down on a map to join all places of the same height above the mean sea level is called. Lines down on a map to join all places of the same height above the mean sea level is called?
Altitude.
What?
Altitude.
No?
Contour.
Good. We call them contours. Dash are the data collected directly from a source as first-hand information. Dash are the data collected directly from a source as a first-hand information.
Primal data.
Good. Question to Muhandu. A type of climate said to be located between 5 degrees north of the equator is called. A type of climate said to be located between 5 degrees north of the equator is called?
Equatorial climate.
No.
Tropical climate.
Good. Now I'm moving to another subject, and here I'm moving to English subject. Question 2, Mahina. A figure of speech which gives animals and non-living things with ability or habitat of performing things like man is called. A figure of speech which gives animals and non-living things with ability or habitat of performing things like a man is called?
Personification.
Good. Question to Muhandu. The past form of the word read. The past form of the word read.
Read.
Good. The word good in a sentence. A good student always answers questions. Belong to which part of speech? The word good in this sentence. A good student always answers questions. Belongs to which part of speech?
Noun.
No?
Adjective.
Good. Dear viewer, that marks the end of our season of Q&A. Let us have a short break. When we come back, we'll have a talent show, and thereafter we'll have presentation from both two schools. Thanks and welcome.
Alalala, mambo ya uswahilini haya sio poa, kujifanya mjuaji sio poa. Sio poa, we rafiki mchomaji sio poa, unaleta mikosi, chenga utoe pass, we mpambe nuks, unaleta nyeusi giza unaleta mikosi, chenga utoe pass, we mpambe nuks, unaeta nyeusi giza utashua shilingi macho, we mbele tochi, cheza kachili, sigeli usivae koti na swali mwenzangu, we kwanza unatoa noti kapteni ndo mimi, we mgambo kavae buti shilaka shanuna tuna kipata utaki, mtamwa kuguna kibaki nyasi nda, karibu mgeni, karibu nyumbani, ingia mpaka ndani utakacho kikutanda, usisemea zelani kitano changu chaka, hodiswa mzazi ulula pala kutampa la puchu kujuta, pala mande kinyingala chakala wana huta, puntinsa ligiratu woo.
Moyo wangu usilie tena, moyo wangu usibabaike, unaye Mungu mkuu sana, unaye Mungu muweza wa yote. Aliingia rohoni mwangu kanipa kutulia, kanambia we mwanangu usilie tena. Aliingia rohoni mwangu kanipa kutulia, kanambia we mwanangu usilie tena. Ninajua shida zako mimi nitazitatua, bila Yesu mimi ni mtu bure. Kati giza Yesu mwanga wangu, kati huzuni Yesu ni mfariji, kati vita Yesu mwamba wangu, katika njaa Yesu mkate wa uzima. Ndani ya Kristo ninaweka tumaini langu, sijui bila wewe mwamba wangu ningekuwa wapi. Ndani ya Kristo ninaweka tumaini langu.
Flow na midondoko ni unyama wanaungana na waficha ficha, na kikisha na waficha wakinipa ficha, ustaa nao ukitokeza tu mapicha ndo maana mameni smeki wazi na mficha ficha, bala na mokaf na trobas, international african na ostars. Ndoto ni kuwa na maisha yenye focus, morning ila wallet na cash na trobas, kuto kucha mnapigana vijembe, shigide after time kula teng, wenye chuki na wembe zaidi ya town tawape. Hapa mjasindo banka stima, yanapanda sopa kamekosa figa, na nkitupa jua jasha jipa, yanapanda jusi ubomba stika ushai lamba, lolo lamba oza ushai lamba acha nishi hapo kwa leo.
You lay behind the stone, you live to die, rejected and alone, like a rose, trampled on the ground. You took the fall and thought of me.
Wonderful. Menigusa. Thank you very much. Can you clap for Eden? That was a wonderful talent work from Eden Secondary School from Ilimela, Mwanza. Let us move to another season, that is presentation segment. And here I'm welcoming my beloved school. This is Mahina Secondary School for a wonderful presentation. Please, Mahina, come up for presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our presentation of today. Our presentation of today, we'd like to share with you about the topic of censor. In our topic of censor, which found in geography subjects, we will share with you in various sections, such as the meaning of censor, types of censor, objectives and stages, importance of censor, and problems of censor, and lastly, our conclusion of our topic, censor. First of all, I would like to share with you on the meaning of censor. When we're talking about censor, we mean that it's just a process of collecting, analyzing, compiling, and the publishing of demographic, social data of a country or a territory within a specified time. Types of censor. There's two types of censor based on time interval. First is decennial, second is quinquennial, and when we're talking about decennial, we mean the type of censor which conducted for every 10 years, while quinquennial censor is the type of censor which conducted for every 5 years. In Tanzania, we conduct a type of censor which is decennial, which take the time of 10 years, the interval of 10 years, and the first census is conducted on 1978, followed by 1998, followed by 2002, and lastly is 2012. And after that, I'd like to invite my fellow presenter here to give us the importance of censor. Thank you.
The following are the importances of censor. First, censor helps the government to determine the total population found in our country. Through conducting censor, the government is able to determine the number of people that found in our country. Second, it helps the government to determine the number of illiterate and illiterate people found in our country. Through censor, government is able to determine the total number who knows to read and those who are not able to read. And the third one is, it helps the government to determine its per capita. Per capita is the total income of a country per population. Per capita helps the government to determine whether it is poor or not. Also, censor helps the government to determine the labor force. Through censor, the government is able to determine the labor force that formed in our economic activities such as mining, agriculture, and transportation. Also, censor helps in the provision of social services. Social services like electricity, water supply, and education are provided through censor. Let me welcome the next presenter to tell us the challenges that face censor.
The process of collecting and analyzing the demographic data have the following challenges. First, ignorance. Some people in our country have no much knowledge concerning population censor. This makes difficulty during the collecting and the analyzing the population censor. Because some people know that the process of censor is body cultural. And some people know that when he or she participates in the censor is wastage of time. The ignorance of people make them do not participate much more in the population censor. Let me welcome another presenter for giving us our conclusion.
In my opinion, I would like to advise the government of Tanzania to produce enough education to the citizens. Because we know that without education, that's why people lack ignorance. So there is a lot of ignorance in our country. So if the government of Tanzania will provide education to the citizens, I know there will be changes and people will participate in the censor. Another, I would like to advise the citizen to cooperate with the government of Tanzania during censor sections. I would like to thank everyone who is here in front of us.
since morning until now. May God bless you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you. That is so wonderful. A presentation of a sensor from Mahina Secondary School. Thank you, Mahina. Can you clap for them for that wonderful presentation? Welcome for presentation, Muhandu. Introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Elizabeth John from MUHANDU Secondary School.
My name is Margaret Imsa from MUHANDU Secondary School. I'm going to do the introduction part. The introduction, today, I'm going to talk about chemistry. First, in the starting, I'm going to start with chemistry. Chemistry is the branch of science which deals with the composition and decomposition of matter. A person who studies about chemist is a chemist. A person who studied chemistry in ancient is a chemist. Branches of chemistry. We have got organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry, analytical chemistry, soil chemistry, and general chemistry. Importance of chemistry. Chemistry helps us to acquire different professionals such as doctors, engineers, and nurses. In chemistry, we are studying about first aid. First aid is the immediate help given to a patient before him or her taken to the hospital. In first aid, also we are studying about first aid kit. First aid kit is a box that contains items for first aid. For instance, now, here we have got a first aid kit. This first aid kit contains items for first aid. One of the items, we have got uso. This uso is used for cleaning wounds. Secondly, we have got powder glucose. This powder glucose, its importance is used for when a person has fainted or a person is sinking from vomiting or diarrhea. We can use it mixing on water or just for testing it. We have got antiseptic. This antiseptic also has
baraka.
Mwaka 2022, mwendelezo wa matangazo ya mkutano wa Injili